poppin' everyone? So today we are checking out who copied who. So Zack the Film started his channel on June 8, 2021. And let's see when did his story start. This is him, of course. He joined at January 3, 2022, meaning that his story copied Zack the Films. And let's see her story. When did her story start? 2024. So Zack the Film started his channel, and today we are going to be reacting to his stories videos, and we are going to react to the most popular video he has on his home channel. I took revenge on Chester. Who's Chester, yo? Wait, this takes a long time loading because
I watched his video on the TV. He's a bully.
Oh, okay.
Welcome
So
to
this will
Gangstar
take-
Mirage
we
City.
gotta-
The city is your
And
playground.
of course,
It
I
Felt my stomach in knots.
I know.
Turned around to see Chester 6 inches from my face.
he is like 6 inches away from him. That's
All 4'11", 110 pounds of him. His big brother Bo had the locker
Okay.
room door closed as he
bro.
watched with his arms
He is fat and he is big and he looks ugly.
And he's a big ball.
crossed. Bo's twin brother Cody leaned against the lockers, looking
they
bored.
both look same except this dude has tattoos.
And this dude has
Both of
short
them
hair.
were 6'8", 300
they
pounds
have
each, and were
same
starting
hair.
linemen on the football team. They were both 20 years
I
old
think
and
these
still
two
walking the
guys
halls of my
are
high school like a
their
pair of tired
brothers.
bears, because every time the school tried to
Oh,
graduate
yeah.
them, they
I
punched
watched
somebody and
this
got held
and
back a year.
they
These were
are
the notorious.
And I know what happened.
Don't tell me we are watching
I'm not.
it. Bro, it's
Marshall brothers.
Something bad
Chester
is
knew
about
no
to
one would
happen
mess
to
with
his
him because they
brother.
were terrified of his massive brothers.
What?
Chester looked at his right hand that had a scorpion tattoo on
he has a scorpion tattoo. What the heck?
the inside of his wrist.
That's
Have you ever felt a
weird.
scorpion sting? I stayed still, thinking that if
no,
I
I
didn't respond,
didn't.
I could just disappear.
Yo, he has his story logo, his merch, yo. Nice merch.
And it would maybe be better.
No,
I was
it
wrong because he
isn't.
slapped
It's
me hard
merch.
across the face. My fit
Bro, why did Chester slap him?
Chester like
clenched up.
mean.
Pure rage flooded
He's
through me. I felt the
Chester.
muscles in my arms lock and my
Okay.
weight shift forward. And for half a second, I
Raspberry.
almost let myself tear his head
And he
off.
looks
Then I
weird.
saw his massive,
Raspberry.
monstrous brothers both watching me very closely.
got
Chester
scared,
smiled,
bro.
grabbed a fistful of my hair, and drove my face into the metal of the locker
What?
room door. The sound of my
Ew! What?
My nose breaking was like someone
Blood!
snapping a pencil under a towel.
Ow!
Blood ran straight down my
Disgusting!
chin and started dripping onto the tiles. His knee came up into my stomach, folding me
Oh,
over. He
no.
whacked me across
Oh.
the back of my head with 2 more punches, sending me down to the ground. Then he started
Ow!
kicking.
Do you know
3,
what
4,
I'm about
5
to
times
tell
in
you
the
what
ribs,
happened
his sneakers
then?
pounding into me. I curled up because there was nothing else I could do, and I emotionally detached because I had to in order to deal with this.
Okay.
Stay down, piss boy. Bo and Cody giggled from the doorway. I love it when he has
Bro.
nicknames for his victims. Yeah, wait
These
until
both-
Dad gets home and hears about
these
this.
three are
He's gonna love it.
bullies.
The whole thing lasted about 90
not a
seconds,
bully.
and then Chester spit
His
on me
dad is
and
going
then
to
walked out.
love it?
I lay on the blood-wet
What?
tile and listened to their sneakers
Bro,
fade
he
down the
spitted
hallway.
on
I got
it.
up slowly,
Yeah.
cleaned my face at the sink with brown paper towels, and
Please
stuffed
don't
wet
tell me
tissue
he
up my
spitted on
nostrils
it.
until the bleeding stopped. I felt like such a
Ew,
pathetic,
he
helpless
put it
loser.
on
Then I realized that this had gone on for over a year, and I needed to report it. I
Okay,
went and told the
principal is
principal,
going
and
to
he was
say he's
shocked.
going to
Chester,
suspend
you
him.
expect me to believe that little shrimp is actually hurting anyone? He's one of our best students.
Bro!
Don't you have anything better to do? Get out of my office. On my way out, I bumped into Chester's
didn't
father,
believe
Wayne Marshall.
him.
Watch where you're going. He giggled and then hugged my principal. I was horrified. No wonder he backed up Chester.
Okay, so
He
they
was
are
friends with
like
his dad.
friends,
To make
and
matters
that's
even
why
worse, Wayne had just come out of
he's,
prison after a
covers
10-year
up
stint
for
for manslaughter.
Chester.
The principal saw me staring at both of them and nudged Wayne. This dumb kid actually just told me that Chester is picking on him. They both busted up laughing
He's
so
not
hard that
dumb,
even the
guys.
secretary joined in. I felt so small.
Bro,
Then
that
Wayne called out,
teacher's laughing
"Yeah, all
as
4
well."
feet, nothing of him." They cracked up even
She's
harder
not
as the principal
teacher.
blurted out,
She's
"Stop."
Chester's mom. I think so.
Who?
Stop.
Oh,
You're gonna make me
God.
piss
I know.
myself. The entire
Chester's
office
mom.
erupted in laughter. I shook my head and left feeling hopeless. I felt invisible, like I didn't matter or exist to anyone. I had no one else to turn to, so I went home that night, sat across the kitchen table from my dad, who was an ex-Marine, and I told him everything. He didn't say anything for a full
Father.
I think so. It's his uncle.
Bro looks like 42 years old down.
minute, then looked at me with a cold, hard glare that I had never seen before. He stood up and grabbed his keys off the counter. "Get in the truck." We drove for 30 miles in silence. Then he glanced over at me. "This is on me. I thought I had trained you better to defend yourself. I'm really sorry, son. I think it's because after your mother died, I didn't want to be too
Bro,
hard on
yeah,
you. But
this
that's
is
gonna
what
change
I'm
now."
thinking,
That
but
made me really sad
can't
because I
he-
knew he had always tried to do his best. I didn't
you
ask where we
know,
were going, and he didn't tell
protect
me. We
himself.
finally pulled into a strip mall parking lot.
Defend
The sign
himself.
over one of the doors read, "Combat Sports." Through the front window, I could see a
Combat sports. Combat sports.
boxing ring, a
He's
row of
going to
heavy
learn
bags, and a man
WWE
inside
at
taping another
boxing.
fighter's hands. I felt really insecure and scared. I'm too busy to train you in the
bro
way you
doesn't
should be
have
trained, so I'm
shirt.
handing you off to a fellow Marine. Dad walked me through the door, and the man came over.
It's
He was maybe
so-
5'10", lean,
Okay,
with
so
cauliflower
I think
ears,
he-
and the kind of nose that's been broken so many times
his
it was
father
barely
also
there.
works
It's great to see you, Rico. They shared a hug. "So,
I think
this is your
so.
boy, huh?" "Yeah, he needs to learn how to handle himself.
Yes.
The real
They are friends.
Don't go easy on him." Rico looked me up and down. He pressed on my
Hey, yo!
shoulders, felt my hands,
What happened?
and noticed the
You
way I
said
was
a bad
standing.
word.
Rico didn't
What?
believe in conditioning you slowly.
can
He
see
believed in
it.
throwing you into the deep end and
No.
seeing if you remembered how to
Family
swim.
friendly.
The first day he made me jump rope for 20 straight minutes. I couldn't do it, and he didn't care. He stood there with a stopwatch, and
I
every time I
cannot
tripped, start
do
over.
this
By the end of the 20
or
minutes, I was on the
rope
ground
jumping
throwing
can
up
be-
into a bucket while he
How
made notes on a
so
clipboard.
was
I looked at myself in
He's
the mirror that night and
throwing
saw Chester's
up,
ugly
yo!
face taunting me. "You ain't nothing but a weak-ass little piss boy."
Trying
I
it.
felt terrified that I
Bro,
wouldn't be able to
Chester.
do this. The second day, he put me in front of a heavy bag and showed me how to throw a
That's
jab.
kinda
Just a
fun.
jab. For an hour. Left arm out, retract, left arm out, retract,
Okay,
until my
this is
shoulder
how
was
to
cooked.
jab.
Every jab I threw,
I will
I saw
learn this
Chester's
as
face
well,
laughing
guys.
at me on the
I'm
heavy
becoming
bag.
a boxer.
"You missed, piss boy."
I'll
I
punch
punched
you
the
in
bag
the
harder and
face.
harder, using his words as continuous motivation. The third
He's
day, he
in
put
the
gloves on me
air.
and we sparred. Or at least, that's what he called it. I called it being hit in the face and the liver for 10 minutes by a 40-year-old former pro who was holding back just enough not to kill me. By the end of the round, I was crying. He pulled the gloves off my hands. "Save your tears for someone who cares.
Is he
See you
dead
tomorrow."
after
I went back the next day,
He
and the
got
next.
hurt
I'd
so
still get emotional
bad.
after getting
Is he
hit.
dead after
Rico pulled me
this? I
aside.
think so.
"It's not just about
Bro,
the
what
physical.
happened
You're
now?
gonna get
Look at
tested
that.
mentally, and that'll be the hardest
Jesus. Holy moly, I don't care.
What kind
test
of
you ever
test?
face." I understood and started to harden on the inside. I trained 6
Okay,
days a
that's
week
you.
from. I went to school and saw
man.
Chester walking with his big brothers down the hallway and thought to myself, "Just wait until the last day of school, you piece of crap. There's a
Now
tornado
it will
coming."
happen.
As I kept sparring, I started to find the rhythm and find the openings. I knocked a semi-pro
this-
onto his back
you
with a
know,
left hook he
punch
never saw coming. He got up laughing, slapped me on the shoulder, and told Rico, "He's
Oh.
getting good." Rico nodded.
knocked
Through all of
out
it,
the
I said nothing at school. I let Chester keep taking my lunch money. He took it on a Tuesday, and I handed it over without a word, my eyes staring
Look at
down at
this,
the floor,
look like
the
this.
way I had been doing it
Look at
ever
this,
since
bro.
sophomore year. He shoved me into a locker on the way
Okay, let me watch this.
out of English class, and I bounced off it and kept walking like I always had. He poured Coke down my back in the cafeteria one day, and I sat there and let it run down into the
Bro,
waistband of my
didn't even
jeans.
care.
I didn't move, and I didn't speak. I wanted him to think that nothing had changed. I wanted him relaxed. I
He
wanted him
doesn't
sloppy.
care.
I was stoic and quietly cold, and had nothing but revenge on my calendar.
But he
June
will in the
14th, the
end
last day of
will
school.
beg to.
That date was the only thing I cared about. June 14th was a half day. Everyone was hanging out in the
And now,
courtyard. Kids
here,
running
but
around, care
this
about
is
anyone,
the
not even
last
Lauren anymore, who
day.
pretended I didn't exist my
Here,
entire
what
senior year.
happened
I went out of the
today?
side door by the
But-
gym, and I found Chester behind the building,
And-
smoking a cigarette
Why
next to the
isn't he in
dumpster.
this
He saw me, and he
He
gave me that
beats
same
him
little
up.
smirk. "What's up, piss boy?
And
Want
bro-
another ass whooping?"
bro, do
He
you
shoved me in the
smoke?
chest. I let
He's
myself rock back a
smoking,
half step.
man.
He shoved me again. Harder. I stayed quiet. I let my hands hang loose at my sides.
just a
He wound up for a slap.
kid.
I smiled, feeling
And
excitement I never knew I could
Punch
feel.
him, his
Hey
Dory,
Chester,
punch
have you ever
him.
felt a scorpion sting? He stared at me, confused. 14 months of pure, murderous rage formed within my gut as my
Okay,
left
he's
jab sprung out.
talking.
7 months of left arm out, retract, left arm out, retract. It caught him flat on the nose, and I heard the cartilage snap. His head jolted back. Before he could process what had happened, I came over the top with a right cross that caught his temple, rotated his whole skull on his neck, and dislocated his jaw. He started to fall. He didn't get to finish falling because another left hook
His
slammed
jaw
into his ribs on the
dislocated.
way down, cracked 3 of them, and folded him sideways.
His jaw
As his head dropped to
dislocated.
about waist level, a knee came up and caught him under the chin. He hit the concrete with a loud thud. I have never felt such deep satisfaction. I stood over him, breathing slow and even, the way Rico had taught me to breathe in the ring, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I heard a loud guttural yell. What the hell? I turned around and saw Bo and Cody charging towards me with rage in their eyes and clenched fists. I felt the fear grip my throat, but I put my fists up and braced myself. They rushed towards me, and right before they reached me, they stopped. They both wanted to hit me, but hesitated. They froze. Both of them were deeply conflicted with what to do. Hit me like that. He held his arms out. Come on, tough guy. Hit me like that. Cody pulled up next to him. Yeah, hit one of us. Do it. I dare you. I was terrified for a few seconds. Then I understood perfectly. You kids can't take a swing at me, can you?
Now you
You'll
will
both be
punch him.
expelled, probably end up in jail. By the look in their
Maybe
eyes,
you'll
I could tell I
punch
was
him.
right. I smiled. You need me to swing first, then you can swing and call it My dad was waiting on the porch when I got home. I grinned, flipped them off, stepped over. He nodded once. Good. I was happy as hell that night. I woke up thinking that I finally had a whole new life with nothing but happiness and joy to look forward to. Then I got a call from my cousin Sarah that works as a nurse at the local hospital. Hey, are you the one that beat up some kid named Chester? Yeah. How did you know? His father, Wayne, is here, along with his 2 big brothers. He has a broken jaw, a broken nose, 3 broken ribs, and a severe concussion. He's gonna need to be fed through a straw. Good. Well, I'm calling because when his dad saw him, he swore vengeance. I mean real murderous vengeance. And he knows it was you. I hung up, terrified. Wayne was a vicious ex-criminal who spent his whole life in and out of prison. I immediately told my dad about Wayne, and he knew exactly who he was, and tensed up. Shit. I got even more nervous when I saw my dad turned cold. A day later, a black pickup truck drove by with tinted windows. Then an hour later, the same black pickup drove by, but this time, there was a red pickup truck right behind it. Both trucks slowed down at our mailbox, then peeled out and sped off. My dad pulled me inside. Remember when I showed you how to handle the shotgun and the rifle? I swallowed my fear. Yes, sir. Refresh your memory, because these guys aren't playing around. I grabbed the guns out of the closet and went through loading, aiming, and unloading. I readjusted the scope on the rifle and got it ready while my dad checked around the perimeter of our house. He then checked all the locks on the doors and handed me rubber buckshot bullets. We want them stopped, not dead. That gave me some sense of relief because I didn't want murder on my conscience. Look, son, you did your part in this. You stood up for yourself and did what's right. Now it's my turn to let these assholes know that we won't be messed with. So I need you to stay upstairs. I was confused and mad. What? Why? Because fighting someone in hand-to-hand combat is a very different thing than dealing with weapons. But you've been the one to handle it. You'll know where everything is and have the advantage. I went upstairs, turned out all my lights, cracked open my window just a bit so I could hear someone coming, and I waited. I only had my cell phone that was casting any light if I needed it. The next several minutes were completely silent, except for the eerie hum of our refrigerator. I could hear and feel my heart pounding in my chest. A few seconds later, I noticed my cell phone had no service. They must have cut our Wi-Fi connection at our electrical box, which meant we couldn't call the cops. Then my stomach dropped when I heard footsteps
Okay, their service ran out. They cut
coming
the
from the
Wi-Fi.
outside, and I'd bet my life that they weren't loaded with
Now
rubber
they can
bullets.
call
I
the
quickly turned away,
cops,
having never
now
felt terror that
they're
deeply coursed through my veins. I looked out again and saw Wayne pound on our front door and call out, "Your boy has a debt to pay. My son is on life support from a concussion that he did not deserve.
What is
He's
that?
an innocent, fragile
I'm sorry, guys.
It looks scary.
small kid that your son bullied."
He's
I
not
shook my head in disgust at how
innocent.
bad of a lie
Who
that
said
was.
he's
So you're gonna
innocent?
hand over that kid son of yours, and
His
we're gonna
dad
beat
is
his little ass into oblivion, and you're gonna watch. Or else we'll come in there and take out whoever we need to.
Okay,
And we are not
how's
leaving this
Daddy
property
looking
until
at?
justice is served. I felt a burning mix of fear and rage boiling up in me. My dad wasn't having it. I don't know what kind of lies you've been told about your angel of a son, but it's all bullshit. For over the last 2 years, that tiny bully tortured and beat up my son every damn day at school, and those big brothers of his were helping. I grinned, proud that I had an awesome dad who had my back. Then I heard Cody chime in. He's lying, Dad. We both saw his kid beat up on Chester because he's so small. Wayne called out even louder. It looks like you and I are at an impasse and have different understandings of what has occurred. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds before we bust this door down, and I am not leaving here until justice is served, and I bring that little piss boy to the brink of death. I felt a chill travel up my spine. He wasn't kidding, and he was willing to follow through. That scared the crap out of me. My father wasn't afraid at all. I'm gonna warn you redneck assholes one time. If you take one step inside my house, you will be fired upon. And just so you're aware, I was planning to arm myself with rubber bullets. Well, those have signaled to Cody and Bo to head around to the back. The uncle went to the side of the house, and Wayne started kicking in at the door. Our house was old, and the wooden door wouldn't hold up for very long. Each kick he landed, I heard the wood splinter and crack. Then I heard the glass of our side window crash through. The fragile quality of my house made me feel so vulnerable to outside forces. There was no protection, and I hated that Dad wanted me to stay up here. I paced frantically, desperately wanted to go down and help him, so I grabbed my shotgun and waited at the top of the stairs. I looked down and couldn't see where my dad was. Then Wayne's boot busted through the front door. I got startled. Then I saw Wayne reach in, unlock it from the inside, and swing open the broken door. Only moonlight was casting any light into the room, and I thought to myself, will this be my last night on Earth? Wayne entered, shotgun aimed. Then I saw Cody and Bo climb in through the side window and heard the back door getting pounded in by their uncle. I panicked. Never felt that much fear in my life. Not only for myself, but for my dad, who was only one man versus four. Then Wayne looked up towards me. Come out wherever you are. Pop, pop. I heard 2 loud shots, looked down, and saw my dad had shot Wayne twice in the gut. He keeled over in pain and dropped his shotgun. There wasn't any blood, which meant my dad still used rubber bullets. I was relieved to see that, but grew even more fearful when I thought that his brothers and the uncle would retaliate against my dad. Cody saw me at the top of the stairs and started rushing up towards me. I held my breath, readied myself, moved to the side of the hallway, waited for him to come up, and as he stepped over the last step, I slammed the hardest roundhouse kick across his face that I've ever thrown in my life. I heard the bone of his nose bust as he tumbled back down the stairs in a heap and smacked into the floor at the bottom. I heard him yell out in agony, looked down, and saw that he had landed wrong on his right leg and broke it. It was crooked and mangled. I felt vindicated because it was the perfect kick, then fell back into sheer terror when Bo aimed his gun up at me and fired 3 times. My ears were ringing, heart pounding out of my chest. My dad called out, "Put that gun down right now, son." He was talking to Bo. "I'll take out your father if you don't." Bo hesitated and turned around to see my dad standing behind Wayne with his shotgun aimed at his neck. "If you take any more shots at my son, I will end your father. Do you hear me?" I was amazed and alarmed at how calm my dad's voice was when he said that. Then everything took a turn for the worse when their uncle tackled my dad from behind and slammed him down to the ground. He had snuck in from the back door. Wayne, the uncle, and Bo all aimed their guns down at my dad. I froze, panicked. I couldn't just let them hurt my dad. Wayne kicked my dad a few times in the ribs and looked up at me at the top of the stairs. "You better get down here, boy, or else your little daddy's gonna be paying a visit to an early grave." Cody was still at the bottom of the stairs, unable to move at all. My dad glanced up at me, still so eerily calm. "Don't you dare come down here, son. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right." Wayne took his shotgun, stuck a knee in my dad's chest, and aimed the weapon in his face, while Bo and the uncle held him down. I was so scared that they would hurt him. I wanted to cry, but I held it back. Wayne looked up at me. "I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to get down here, boy, or I'll end him. I've done it many times before."
Dude, I'm just tired from this.
Bro, his story
I'll
is
do it
not a
again.
young boy.
5,
He
4,
was about
3. I had no idea what to do, but didn't feel like I actually had a choice. I knew that I had to give in, so I tossed my gun down the stairs. "All right, take it easy. I'm coming down." My dad barked. I said, "Don't come down here." I barked at him. "I won't sit back and let them hurt you, Dad. I'm coming down." I slowly walked down the stairs and stood in front of them with my hands up. My dad was laying on his back and had positioned himself near Wayne's legs. I made eye contact with my dad and was searching for some type of signal, but didn't see one. My fear grew in intensity, and I started mentally preparing myself for what's to come. I could barely breathe and felt a quiet adrenaline coursing through my blood. If I was about to take the worst beating of my life to save my dad, so be it. I made my way closer to Wayne. Bo and the uncle were standing on both sides of me. I glared at Wayne with a quiet, focused rage. Chester was the worst bully our school had ever encountered, and I think deep down, you know the truth about him. I hadn't ever hurt anyone my entire life until your son brought nothing but violence and hatred toward not just me, but every kid in the school, boys and girls. And your other two sons not only allowed it, they supported it. Wayne smiled as if he was proud of what they did. I raised them to be tough. If you can't stand the heat, get the hell out of the kitchen. So you think hurting girls is them being tough, huh? Wayne wasn't about to back down. The bitch probably deserved it. Bo and Cody laughed. That enraged me. I thought to myself, they might get the best of me, but I will take them to the grave with me, so help me God. Wayne gestured at Bo. Grab him, take him out back. It's time to enjoy the sweet taste of justice. This whole situation tested my will. This is what Rico was talking about. This was the ultimate mental test, and I was prepared. I knew that I needed to act quickly, so I nodded at my dad, giving him a signal. I took a long, deep breath in, knowing we only had one chance at survival. My dad nodded back, so I quickly threw a spinning sidekick into Bo's ribs and heard 3 distinct cracks. He keeled over in agonizing pain, his ribs definitely busted. At the same moment, my dad grabbed the uncle's leg, tripped him, wrapped his legs around his neck from below, and put him in a strangling chokehold. He was unconscious within seconds. Wayne was the last man standing. He saw that both of his sons were taken out and realized that the uncle was also unconscious. So he aimed his shotgun at me, and I didn't have the leverage to attack him. I wasn't close enough. I froze, felt abject terror. He grinned, started to pull the trigger. Then my dad swept his feet out from under him, causing him to fall forwards, drop the gun, and faceplant into the hardwood floor. Wayne went to reach for his shotgun, so I took a step towards him and pretended his head was a soccer ball. Hey Wayne, have you ever felt a scorpion sting? He glanced up at me, confused. That's something your aunt of a son used to ask me. I took a step and kicked him in the side of the head so hard that he was knocked out for over 20 minutes. I helped my dad up and embraced him. I've never felt more relief and satisfaction in my life. The police finally arrived and carted all 4 of these idiots out on stretchers. 2 days later, a police officer called me at home, and I put him on speaker so my dad could hear. A judge has put Wayne back in federal prison for another 10-year stint for attempted murder. His brother and his sons will all be joining him for 5 years. Thank you, officer. A month later, I walked across the graduation stage in my blue gown with a tassel on my head, and I saw the principal. He had heard what happened with Chester's family, and he put his hand out to shake mine. He had a look of empathy and was hoping that I had forgotten that he did nothing to help me. No hard feelings, right, son? I ignored his hand and flipped him off. Eat a d***. His face turned green with embarrassment because I made sure all the other teachers heard that. Then I walked past Chester, who was also graduating. He was still really weak and sitting off to the side. His jaw was wired shut. I leaned down to him and whispered, "When I think about how bad I beat your ass, it gives me the warm and fuzzies."
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and here he has his ankles still broken. So see
Again.
and this was the video which has been completed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.